Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the auspicious inauguration of the Master of Arts in Buddhist Counseling program. The Director of the Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies, Senior Professor Chair, Venerable Madhavachi Dhammajyoti, Venerable Professor Miriswatte Vimalanyana, Head of the Department of Buddhist Culture, Professor Deshapriya Gunasena, Head of the Department of Buddhist Sources, Professor Ratnasiri Ratnanayaka, Head of the Department of Thought, Master of Arts in Buddhist Counseling, Course Coordinator in Sinhala Media, Professor Vasanta Priyadarshana, respected senior professors and senior lecturers, Senior Assistant Registrar, Mr. Sumit Jayasekara, Senior Assistant Bursa, Mrs. KDDS Sugatapala, Senior Assistant Librarian, Mrs. Deepani Attanayaka, Assistant Registrar, Mrs. M.B. Yamuna Pereira, and all the students. As we stand on this threshold of significant milestone, the commencement of the 4th batch for the Master of Arts in Buddhist Counseling, with heart full of hope and mind eager to learn, we are gathered here today to celebrate the beginning of this new chapter. The Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies is the only postgraduate institute for Pali and Buddhist Studies. And this is a part of the University of California, established in 1975. Without taking further time, it's now the moment of profound honor and privilege to invite a figure of immense wisdom and to share his insights and blessings with us. Venerable Professor Chair Madhavachi Dhammajyoti has been a guiding light in pgipbs. Under his esteemed leadership, the Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies has not only flourished, achieved, but remarkable milestones that have significantly contributed to the field of Buddhist studies. With great honor and profound gratitude, I invite Venerable Professor Chair Madhavachi Dhammajyoti to deliver his speech and share his insight on this auspicious occasion. Venerable Sir, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Newly joined young lady, I don't know. So, good evening, everybody. Venerable sirs, professors, non-academic staff members, and the students. I would like to welcome all of you to pgipbs Buddhist Counseling English Medium Program for 2024. I am happy this year our student number has been increased. I know the Department of Buddhist Culture, Professor, Head of the Department, Professor Miriswatte Vimalanyana Thero, and the staff members of the department have worked hard to recruit students with the support of other staff members and the non-academic staff members. So among them, I especially would like to remind Professor Vasanta's contribution to popularize this program among the different students in different countries. So as you aware that the pgipbs is number one postgraduate institute in Sri Lanka for the Buddhist studies. We have highest number of foreign students following our courses from different countries: Myanmar, China, Vietnam, Nepal, and also some students from European countries. So every year, we are happy to say that our number of students is increasing rapidly, especially in 2024. we have a lot of students registered for our not only counseling program, also other our diplomas and BST programs too. So it is a very most happiest thing. As a director, I want to remind all of you. Uh, we have qualified staff members for this subject. They have uh, enough knowledge to teach you counseling, Buddhist counseling, and also they have good experience because they have been lecturing on this subject over the past I think several years. So they will teach you right thing regarding the Buddhist counseling. Mm, Buddhist counseling. As we aware that Buddhism is the most popularizing subject in the world. Buddhist counseling also one of the most attractive subject in the world. Buddhist psychology, Buddhist counsel, and also mindfulness meditation system are uh, uh, becoming more popular throughout the world. So, learning this kind of subject is very important at the moment, at the modern era, because you know, uh, as a human being, all of you are having a trouble, mental illness, stress, and so many problems, sufferings, because of the modern world is very competitive to achieve the material things in the world. So this because of this competition, everybody are feeling suffering from so many mental problems, mental lacking, mental illness. So learning this kind of counseling system teach by scholars in our institute is very important, very important. As I said, that well qualified our lecturers will teach you what Buddha has taught regarding Buddhist psychology, Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist psychotherapy, and also mindfulness. So they will reveal the theories, concepts, and teaching preserved in the Buddhist sources, and they will discuss with you. And also, you must also be actively participate with their discussions. Actually, postgraduate level study is not like listening to the Dhamma Desana or a discourses in a temple. It's a discussion, questioning, and reading, thinking, rethinking, criticizing. In that way, you have to participate with our lecturers. Otherwise, you cannot get the uh, real fruits through this lecture course. So I uh, advise you to please read the sources and get ready with the guidance of our lecturers, and you come to the classes with the questions. Then you don't keep silence. Maybe after their lectures, you can question, you can ask question. All our lecturers are expecting students to talk at the class. I know sometimes lectures give time to ask question, but students are keeping silence. That is not good way to study postgraduate level. That is the university postgraduate level. We are expecting to question by the student. So that is one thing I want to say you to. Regarding this subject, I am also not the expert. Buddhist psychology,
Mhm.
Buddhist psychotherapy, and mindfulness.
Venerable sir, we cannot hear you. I think
Your mic
please.
is muted. Venerable director, your mic.
So it happened at the beginning or just now?
Now, just now.
Just now, no? Okay, sorry,
Yes.
sir.
Now we can hear clearly.
So I want to say that I am not the expert in this subject like Professor Vasant and Professor Venerable Miniswati, but we have learned something related to Buddhist meditation, Buddhist psychology, Buddhist psychotherapy, and mindfulness meditation system as a Buddhist monk. But uh, these subjects are actually newly developed subjects, not much or newly popular, very recently became popular in the world, as I understood. Maybe I'm not correct. So there are so many issues regarding Buddhist psychotherapy and the counseling, and also Buddhist psychology. My understanding is Buddha is the great counselor. So many individuals came in front of the Buddha with their mental illness. All were got solution from the Buddha by listening to his advice and the preaching. So in that way, Buddhism has a counseling system to uh, to give the solution to human beings' problems. You know that very recently I read one article, then I found that Buddhism has kind of cognitive therapy, mindfulness based cognitive therapy preached by the Buddhism or Buddha. So when I think about that, cognitive therapy is the way that Buddhism introduced to the human being. So one should understand deeply what is the reality of the things. Then he can get rid of his mental mental illness or mental stress. So I thought to find a very simple example. It is a deep article. I also could not understand very well, but then I thought how to make it very simplified. Suddenly, I found that one example from the Buddha's time, that is Venerable Nanda's uh, willingness to have a uh, beautiful lady at that time. We everybody know that her name is Janapada Kalyani. When Venerable Nanda was going alone with the Buddha to temple, she said, "Come soon." Then Buddha advised Nanda to become a monk. So he became a monk. But he cannot meditate very well. Always that Janapada Kalyani's memory come to his mind. So Buddha noticed that. Then Buddha show him the fairies in the heaven. Then asked, "Do you like the heavens, the fairies?" Nanda said, "Yes, I more like fairies than Janapada Kalyani." Then Buddha said, "Okay, I promise you to give these beautiful fairies in heaven if you meditate and become an arahant." Then Nanda became an arahant, understood the reality of the five aggregates. What is the beautiful? What is the beauty of a person? What is the reality of this body? Hmm? And he destroyed the attachment to not only the Janapada Kalyani but also to the fairies. So in that way, cognition therapy Buddha introduced, applied during his lifetime. And also another very simple example I want to say you that the Krishna Gautami's story also similar thing. Because of his only one son's passing away, she could not understand the death, could not understand the reality of the life and the death. After wandering throughout the Savatthi city, asking for what Buddha said to bring from one family who has not died, then she understood the death is not only for my son, it is a common universal truth. So everybody has to face it. Then she came back to the temple and become a bhikkhuni, and later she became an arahant. So in that way, Buddha used so many tricks to some cases make them to understand the reality that is the I as I understood that is the cognitive approach implemented by the Buddha during the Buddha's time. So there are so many other deep ways. I understand the five aggregates, understanding some other features of the body, or many deep ways there are. But these two stories I wanted to say you, cognitive approach is very important part of Buddhism to heal the problem of the human being. And also another thing I want to say you that there are so many views regarding this new subject called Buddhist psychology and psychotherapy or the counseling. Some people say Buddhist counseling system or Buddhist psychology has no scientific base. It is only a philosophy. It is only a philosophy. It has no scientific base. Just following the dogmas traditionally we use. So I want to highlight here. Once Buddha said that I am one of the experientialists. I belongs to those teachers who express their teachings by their own experience. Tesa Hamasmi in the Sandaka and Sangata Sutta, Buddha very clearly said. So if the Buddha said by himself as experientialist, the point is, so Buddhist counseling, teaching related to Buddhist counseling should be also experience, not just depend on belief and like other religions, God-centered religious. You know that we believe the God. Always we expect uh, outside agent will help to solve our problems. Buddhism is not like that. Buddha said, you have to understand yourself, you look into your mind problem, and you have to understand and develop the ability to get rid of that. So, in that way, our system is more experience, based on experience, not out of the our five organs, five sense organs. Everything what Buddha said should be experienced by our five aggregates, so our sense organs. So that is the Buddha said, I am one of them. Who are the them? Those who preach the Dhamma by experience. So Buddhist teachings can be experienced by everybody. There is no belief, there is no dogmas, there is no outside agent to help us. So in that way, uh, I don't know why we can't say Buddhism is not much similar to the Western system, like scientific system. I don't. We have to think about that. We have to argue about that. Buddhism also has a certain kind of scientific system. Scientific system based on the experience. Based on the experience. If what science says we cannot experience or experiment by our mind or by our organs, that is not the science. So Buddha, what Buddha said, these are all can be experienced by our mind or our sense organs. So Buddhist teachings also why cannot be compared with the scientific system. So I am thinking that I am new to this subject actually, modern system. So I am reading books these days. Then I am trying to understand. So as a research student, postgraduate level, you must try to understand Buddhism, Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist counseling, and Buddhist therapeutic system. Why the people blame that Buddhist counseling system has no scientific base? Just believe and follow in the Buddhist teachings in the suttas. So my point is, Buddha himself said that I am experientialist. What I say can be experienced by our sense organs. I belongs to that group. So teachings related to Buddhist counseling must be in the same platform. So I suggest you to think about that. And I'm not continuing this speech longer. I know my time is, I am given a 7 minutes time. So maybe later you can discuss your figures.
10 minutes, but 10
Now 10
minutes.
minutes. Yes, yes. Maybe another day we can talk about that. So I thank you for everybody who strive to for the success of this program and also recruit the students to our pgipbs. You can see our pgipbs this year very beautiful. Before we were wandering place to place in the Columbus city. Now we have 2 acres land and 4 story building and very beautiful place. I suggest foreign students, at least your vacation time, please come and visit our institute. Then you can be very proud of that. Thank you very much. Welcome again to PGI PBS. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you all.